ladies and gentlemen, to Wargaming.net League North America World of Tanks. I am Joshua Clutch Gray, your host for this evening, as we're going to recap qualifier number 2 for season number 1 of the first North American League for World of Tanks. Joining me on the set is the mathematician here at the studio, Andre Gritorp-Hengshua. Gritorp, we had a fantastic week once again, and I'm so excited to highlight these 4 teams that have made it into league play.
That's right. A lot of teams. I would say around 200 teams signed up for both qualifiers number 1 and 2. And here we are left with only 8 standing. They will go on to compete for that $100,000 prize pool. And we're going to talk about the 4 today, the 4 that qualified just yesterday.
That's right. And to help us talk about those 4 that qualified for this week, we have joining us as well Randall Rukill-Holcomb. Randall, now you've played a lot of World of Tanks. You've seen a lot of different strategies, a lot of different tank selections, a lot of things work, and a lot of things not work. This week so far, what do you think about these qualified teams, and are they going to have a shot against the 8 invited teams?
Definitely. All 4 teams have shown that they are skilled and capable, especially if they continue to practice, like the 8 invited teams I know are practicing. So if they can keep up with the others, they have a chance. They have a legitimate chance, and I expect them to go far. At least two out of each of the qualifying sets of 4 have really shown. There's been some teams that really shined.
So you're telling me they have a chance?
Oh, they got a chance.
All right. Well, that's great for everyone watching. Obviously, we want to show the best games possible and have the best teams possible here for North America. That's why we have the qualifier system as well as the invited system to make sure that we can get the best teams in the region to battle it out for the $100,000 prize pool. And also, we want you to be involved as well, so make sure to follow us on Twitter at WGLNA and also on Facebook at facebook.com/WGLNA. And also, you can catch all the VODs for all the games on YouTube at youtube.com/WGLNA. Also, tonight, we're going to be giving away a lot of codes. So if you want to share us your favorite moments, your favorite highlights during the qualifiers this week, which team you're rooting for, or what's your favorite tank, we're going to pick some winners live tonight. So make sure to do so on Twitter at WGLNA. And Gritorp, you're going to choose some of them as well, I think.
Yes, I am. I'm going to be the dedicated Twitter and Facebook chooser. So definitely gear your questions, and not your questions, but your comments to me, because I'm biased.
Well, if they do have some questions, though, we'd love to answer them.
Absolutely. So, Clutch, we're not going to be broadcasting any games today, but what are we going to be doing?
We're actually going to highlight each of the 4 teams that qualified this week, and we're also going to have live interviews with representatives of each of these teams. And the first team we're going to talk about tonight is Nerve. Nerve performed very well this week, and let's go ahead and bring up the highlight of this team to show some of their great exploits. First off, we have them versus Warriors of Honor here on Mines. Some great positional play here, and also just completely locking down the type of water play, or going the island play, as Rukill says. And they read them so well in that matchup. And again, reading their opponents so well here on Ruinberg, just getting the surround and taking out the tanks left and right very, very quickly.
I mean, you saw them just pick apart their opponents so easily. It seemed seamless for Nerve. They just they outclassed their opponents. And when it came down to it, you can see time and time again they're able to just knock out opponents left and right. Really enjoyed watching them. The last and final game was actually on Himmelsdorf, where just watch, they were able to dissect everything, just converging into a single area, picking everybody off, and winning the match.
Yeah, and also, as we saw in a lot of different matches on Ruinberg or on Himmelsdorf, is using those IS-3s to hold down those positions and winning for their teammates to flank. We saw that many, many times, and Rukill, I'm sure, that is the proper way to play an IS-3.
Yes, by the book kind of play, holding your enemy in place, bringing around the flank, just very, very well done out of Nerve. So they are very experienced in Clan Wars, and that same experience is transitioning into League play.
Yep. Let's go ahead and take a look at the team roster so we can get more familiar with the different members of this team. Now, this is a roster according to how they sign up for the qualifiers. We have Hornsby, Red Paradise, LT Carter, Psycho Killa, Trained Noob, Explosive Brutality, which reminds me of Mortal Kombat for some reason, Independent, who will be the representative we're talking to tonight, Jen Scott, Ratzilla, and Nervy. And when it comes to any team, each team member has to fulfill their specific role. And as we'll see more in league play, we'll get to know more of these team members. And how it works in league play is you can have 10 registered members, and of course 7 will be the ones that actually fight in the actual matches. But you'll have 2 scouts, a number of attackers, some defenders. You'll have the order or shot caller, the guy that's leading the entire team that tries to lead everyone. And it can get kind of chaotic, on TeamSpeak for these different teams.
Okay, so, we hype them up. We obviously have a lot going for Nerve. Let's talk about real talk, guys. How do you think they're going to do in the league?
I'll go first. I think that if they're able to continue the type of gameplay we saw this week, they're going to have to still stay tight as a team because they're going to go up against opponents that are well-seasoned when it comes to the 7x42 competition. And because of that, I think they're going to have to be a little bit more flexible as a team as well. But I still think they're perfectly capable of it.
Rukil?
Out of their play style, what I'm expecting to see is very much heavily meta-based game. The same kind of very normal lineups, but playing them very efficiently. So on city maps, we'll see the very typical 2 IS3s, some 5100s, T1s every time, and we'll see them do it very well every time. So I'm expecting them to perform in that way consistently. Not expected to any crazy out there strats yet because we haven't seen anything that was really, really too far out of the norm.
Well, as for me, I'm going to just say I think they were very impressive against the teams that signed up for the qualifier. Honestly, I feel like once you go into the top 16, it's completely different, and you're going to have to think a lot more out of the box. They were playing it very clean, very pristine, very efficient, as we were all saying, really.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to properly assess them yet. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say they're top 8 candidates, but I don't know how they're going to line up against people that are willing to go against the meta or play the meta game to their advantage, hard counter certain styles, know that they're going to do, quote-unquote, the best style, and then just start shooting blind arty shots just because they know where they're going to be. That's the type of stuff I'm going to be expecting, and I want to see how they deal with that stuff. Actually, we can probably ask them in a little bit now.
We can probably ask them right now. I believe the interview is ready, so let's go ahead and welcome the representative of Nerve. He is known as Independent Indy. Great name, by the way. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing fantastic. First off, a huge congratulations to you and your team for being one of the qualified teams to make it into league play. What does this mean to you and your teammates?
Well, it means a lot. We're very happy that we have qualified.
And I see that you played StarCraft 2 Brood War. Now,
He's an
Yes,
intelligent human being.
yeah, well, you played StarCraft Brood War. Did you also play StarCraft 2?
I played it. I did not like StarCraft 2.
Okay.
But I played StarCraft War for many years.
Okay. Well, Greetorp's already a fan of yours then.
Let me just see how much you played. Did you play on IC Cup?
Yes, I have played on IC Cup.
Okay, what's your IC Cup rating?
It wasn't very high, and I actually stopped playing last time I played was maybe 3 years ago. So
Okay.
I've forgotten.
The fact that you know IC Cup already tells me that he's probably top 5% in the world.
Probably.
That he played IC Cup, he definitely is a strong player.
Well, he's definitely top 5% when it comes to North America and World of Tanks. What is your history with World of Tanks? How did you start playing it, and how did this team get formed?
I started playing back when it was an open beta, when the World of Tanks just came out. I was a noob just like everybody else. I joined whichever clan I thought was the biggest, whichever way I was going to be able to get some gold, so I joined Iron Raiders. The way a team was formed, well, it was really a last-minute thing. I was trying to join many different teams. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to, so I decided to make my own.
Made your own indeed, and now your team is going to be one of the teams representing North America when it comes to esports for World of Tanks. And also, because of the international scene for World of Tanks, there will be a point system for the league play, and the top points that are earned through these seasons will be able to go to the World Finals happening in 2014. What would it mean for you if your team got to represent North America in the World Finals?
It would be amazing. I mean, I've never thought I have a chance to actually, compete for money or to go to travel places, playing a game. I mean, this was just a thing you do, in your free time, after work at night, whatever. So it would be awesome.
Now, during qualifier number 1, you were defeated by River of Blood. In the second qualifier, you went on to take down Hammer Time, Game Over, and Warriors of Honor, which we saw in that highlight. Were you guys pretty crushed by the defeat in qualifier 1? And which of the different teams that you faced in qualifier number 2 were the toughest?
Well, there was a lot going on in the first qualifier because of the team River of Blood. I was on that team for a little bit, and I decided to leave, and then I joined, or I attempted to create my own. The team that I created for the first qualifier, guys that I invited, actually didn't get invited to the second qualifier, so I completely remade the team for the second qualifier.
Oh wow!
And it was unfortunate that I ran into River of Blood in the first game. You know, just right after I quit them, so I had to face the team that I just quit. In the second qualifier, Hammer Time was definitely by far the toughest team that we played, and it was actually kind of strange and almost unfair because our opponents, instead of becoming tougher as further as we went, they actually became weaker. I'm not sure. You guys haven't seen us play against Hammer Time and the other team, but that's the fact. And I actually felt Hammer Time should have been one of the teams to qualify. It's very unfortunate that they had to face us, and we got, I guess, lucky. It was very close. We beat them 3-2, and we had 2 draws. So it was 7 games, 2 hours playing, and we went through.
So, Indy, I actually have a question, and it's about one of the players on your team that really stood out to me. When I looked at your lineup, I saw Red Paradise, and I know him to be a scout player. Is he going to be still your scout player? And how strong is he going to be?
Well, you've seen him. He has been either a T71 player or a 1390 player. Probably not in the stream, but in fact, he was. I think on Mines I had him in the 1390. Yes, I will definitely use him as a scout.
All right.
He loves his 1390.
Okay, Independent, 2 more questions for you. First off, we've been asking different team leaders, different team members to see if they have any words for their opponents. So do you have any words for the other 7 qualified teams or the 8 invited teams that you will face against in league play?
Yes, I do. Guys, don't get nervous when the battle starts. You'll be back in your garage in no time.
Well said, sir. Well, we're going to hand you over a Logitech webcam. We're going to get this sent out to you so we can see that beautiful face of yours as you face off against the different opponents that you're going to be going up against. And finally, where can we find more information about your team, Facebook, Twitter, etc.?
The easiest place to find us is in TeamSpeak, Guerrilla TeamSpeak. There is no other way. We don't have any other social networks created at this time.
Okay, well, get on that because you're going to have a lot of fans following you guys here pretty soon. Thanks for joining us, Independent, and best of luck to you and your team in the league.
Thank you very much, guys.
Man, one thing I want to talk about World of Tanks, guys. I actually casted a local Southern California tournament for StarCraft 2. And we're going into the finals as 2 pretty big players. One of his names was Bubbles, the other one was Mystic. I said, hey, guys, do you guys have any controversial statements to say to each other? And I put the microphone up to Bubbles, and he goes, nope. And I was like, well, Mystic, do you have anything to say? He's like, good luck.
Wow. Well,
I was like, well, okay. But these guys,
they got personality,
they got
man.
grit in their teeth, man. They know how to talk dirty and drop the hammer down, man.
They do. They know how to talk the talk, but can they walk the walk? We're going to find out in league play beginning July 11th. And we're going to find out more words from these different team leaders as we talk to the next team, which is going to be Refuse to Die. When we come back, don't go anywhere. This is World of Tanks.